I'm Renu Appachu. I've been here in Bangalore from 1974. As a student of BSc, I came to Bangalore. Then I did my LLB here. While I was doing LLB, I also started working. And Bangalore in those days were very pretty and with lot of greenery. And it used to be a very nice place to walk without any vehicles and not this much of traffic we were really bogged down with. In fact, auto charges were so low that we could go anywhere and come back. Now, Bangalore used to be a beautiful place, as I told you earlier. We used to go cycling, and I lived in Victoria Layout, where with a couple of friends of mine, and it used to be so beautiful. We could walk on Sunday morning. We used to go to Koshi for breakfast, that too on Brigade Road. Brigade Road, Koshi, if you remember, where it used to be. It used to be a beautiful place where we used to eat Madhur Vada. No, not Madhur Vada. What vada is that? Uddin Vada dumped in a lot of sambar. And we used to walk around there. We used to jump. We used to run around there. From top to bottom, from bottom to up also we have tried cycling. And it used to be such a peaceful place. And from there we used to go to Kaban Park for a walk. And it used to be such a nice place to really go for a walk early morning on a Sunday after the breakfast. And even the weather used to be very, very nice. It's salubrious in fact those days, and there was so much of greenery around that we used to play. We used to really pluck flowers or gather all the flowers that used to fall, especially these what you call mayflowers, which used to fall on the ground. And it used to be a real good experience for us, all of us. We were about 2-3 of us, and from there we used to come to Brigade Road and again come back. You know, walking was not a very difficult time those days because there were hardly any people really obstructing you or bus or anything really disturbing you. That used to be beautiful, beautiful place to live, and so much of greenery, fresh air in the morning, and life was also very simple compared to what I see today. And early morning, if you come really closer to say Johnson Market side, used to get such strong smell of hot coffee and jasmine, and not what you today experience of the flesh, you know, putrefied fresh flesh or the garbage what you really see. And the flowers used to be so fresh, and we used to go and pluck. And aster used to be those days a famous flower, and aster we used to keep it in the take it to the church or take it to our homes, and you know, unstrung jasmine flowers we used to bring home and make it into a huge garlands and give it to people who used to keep it in their hair. And you know, it used to be a very nice, beautiful, with no dust. You know, people had less cough, or even the air was also very, very pure. And I think that those are the little things, I think, being in Bangalore those days, and to compare to now, I find it little difficult to digest. I'm a Coog actually. In those days in Bangalore, people spoke quite a number of languages, especially Tamil, Hindi, Urdu, and Kannada, and Malayalam. Since I am from Coorg, I could speak all these languages. In fact, my Tamil became very refined after coming to Bangalore. And my Kannada also. Kannada used to be, you know, the way I speak Kannada, many people could not understand because I had an accent of a Coorg. Plus, it was more of infused with English. So English used to be the main language what we all spoke. But when you come to the market, you had to speak the local language. So since I could speak about 5-6 languages easily, it was much more easier for me to manage in Bangalore. And I used to be surprised. My friends who were all lived here for many, many years, they could not speak. They were Anglo-Indians. They were Muslim girls. There were many of them, they could hardly speak these languages. But whereas I was so well versed, I was multilingual. And now this has helped me a lot to make a lot of friends. Even the shopkeepers, they were all very nice. It is not like what we get, you know, when we walk into a shop, everybody looks at you in a doubtful way, or they are wondering, oh, why they have come inside, whether they are going to purchase anything or not. Those days everybody welcomed you. Even if you didn't have money, you could tell them, I'll come back and give you. People trusted you. There was so much of trust, so much of affection, so much of camaraderie with all of us. There was nothing like, what we walk inside and we don't get it and we come back sadly, oh, I don't have the money, I can't buy. It's not like that. And we used to go to church, we used to go to temple, and then Infant Jesus Church used to be our favorite place. And there you could go. Of course, it was in those days was slum area, but people were clearing it out because the church was coming up. And that was another area where you could, once you enter the church area, you would only get the smell of jasmines and all the other good, that tuberoses. These are the flowers that we saw so much, and also that yellow, what you call chrysanthemum, then other one is marigold. All these flowers used to be in plenty. Everywhere you saw flowers and everywhere you saw greenery. It was so beautiful a place to live in those days here. And of course, as kids, we enjoyed all these things, especially, I think we didn't have so many cameras where we could take out the pictures and, keep it for posterity. And everywhere, there was no shops in Infant Jesus area, so only the candle stand, candles were kept there for sale, and we used to go and buy and light the candle. And there was no difference like, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, everybody went to everything because you're friends. And we went to Brigade Road, to Koshi Bakery, or Koshi, I think that was called Cafe, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Koshi on St. Mark's Road is called Parrot Cafe. So both the places easily we could go eat. That used to be our favorite joint those days. Of course, Prem's father used to be there those days, and so we all were quite friendly. And there was jukebox, and you put in some money, you heard the music. If you wanted to dance in the back room, we danced. And there were plenty of cats also there in that place. So we really enjoyed our childhood in those places. And since all the waiters were speaking either Kannada or Tamil, since I was a multilingual, it was a beautiful place to be really associated with Koshi for a long time. And those days on Brigade Road and I think it was on MG Road, we had these Binny stores. Okay, we used to go and buy, and the material used to be so soft, cotton, and we used to buy towels. I think whenever we had holidays, we would go and see in that Binny stores what we could buy, affordable. And Binny silks also used to be there, and also these mufflers and woolen garments and all that, wherever we could buy. And there used to be also, as you come down the MG Road near Brigade Road, there used to be some Raja stores or something, if I remember correctly, where you used to have this export reject. And then you come down again, you see the 3M or 3S or something like that. There was another store where we could go and buy pullovers or short tops or some pants or something like that. And these were all export garments where we used to go and pick up. They were cheap but affordable for the students, and also since I was working, it was all very nice experience for me those days. And Mysore silk, of course, whenever that Mysore silk came on Vijayalakshmi or any other places, we used to go and buy saris, because saris used to be something that we liked. I think there was a Priyadarshini or something. Priyadarshini, we used to go and really see the colorful saris and that Gosama silk that when used to flow on our hands, that used to be ethereal kind of an experience what we used to go through. As students, I think we enjoyed all these little things. I suppose these things, I don't think so many people are enjoying these days. And art scene, of course, I used to go to Chitrakala Parishad, and we used to fall in love with all the artists and see all the beautiful works of course, for us the artist was important because we could fall in love with him, but his artwork was superseded all this. So these are the few things we really enjoyed in those days. And of course, Ashoka Hotel, coming back from there, go to Ashoka Hotel, splurge our money, come with empty pocket, walk back to my Victoria layout. And I suppose I also liked the golf club turf because my uncles were famous golfers those days. And Bangalore club, again my uncles were there, so we enjoyed. What I liked most in Bangalore in those days were it was covered with greenery. Just green everywhere, green everywhere. You saw the flowers, the climate, according to the climate, the flowers also changed. And during the autumn season, you found all the leaves falling off. We used to go and pick up all these leaves and try to keep it under the book so that we could keep it and all that. These were nice things. Or sometimes write our names and give it to the boys whom we knew. All this fun kind of a life what we had. It was really not so much as, let me not put it as love scene, but it was something that we liked and we enjoying the company of another human being. That used to be the simple life what we all led. Daily I used to go to my workplace either by auto. As I told you earlier, autos used to be very cheap. So I used to go to my college very early in the morning. I have used Bangalore transport also. It was very nice. Even the conductor was very nice. Even the driver used to stop whenever you are rushing to the bus or a bus stop. Then if we didn't get it, I used to take an auto. If I didn't get it, I used to take an auto and go. And it was manageable those days. Nobody really showed off their pride. They were not rude to us, auto fellows or bus fellows. None of them were rude. There was so much of respect for the women they used to give us earlier. And those days I can say that women were much more safer than what we see today. And now, of course, I really find it very difficult. I think from 80s and 90s, autos became very difficult to get. So was also buses. Too many people in Bangalore, too many vehicles, everything really. And in the 90s and 20s, it is really difficult to navigate in Bangalore. And of course, nowadays with the Uber, things have become easier, and I use, of course, road maps and other things to really navigate, and I have no problem with that. But now I have a car. Of course, from 90s onwards I have been having a car, so I have managed. But the thing is, as my friends used to come and tell me, it is so difficult really if you do not have a vehicle. And on Sundays, I must tell you my experience. My friends used to have bike, so we used to cycle around a lot. Plus then the Luna, and in that Luna, I must tell you, we have had one of the best time, because we used to go up to Yelahanka to meet a friend of ours. And those days, Sundays, there were no vehicles on that road. We used to really clip, so fast. There was no one to stop us, no police in places where they are, strategically now they stand. And we used to have a good time. And so many times we could have met with an accident and we could have died also. Once I took my, Luna, I was not very good in, not Vespa. I took my Vespa and I just went, and I didn't realize it had really speeded up. And I went on the top of a, ambassador car and fell down from there. That's in front of, MG Road and MG Road and Kapan Park Junction. There used to be a huge circle there. That I think Maharani's, Queen Victoria's, some statue used to be there. We fell down. In fact, the car people came out to really rescue me. Actually, their car was dented, nothing had happened to me. And we had such, everything is a nuance for me. Everything is a beautiful, precious moment that we have had in Bangalore. I have really enjoyed staying in Bangalore. And of course, I do use a lot of these road maps now. Some places you cannot even, Rajajinagar side, you cannot really see any place. Now, if you go up to Pinya side, you do not know where you are actually. Earlier, I had a factory there in Pinya. I could go one road, you could take the car and go. Now, there are so many things have come up there. Development has taken, and it has actually brought in a lot of chaos to Bangalore. It's nice at one level to say you are independent and you have got so much of development. There are industries that is feeding the people, helping the people for employment. At the same time, the good old Bangalore has lost its charm. And of course, now metro, let's come to metro when we talk about this autos and other things. Metro has really ruined MG Road. Ruined. And the MG Road used to be such a beautiful place. The boulevard where we used to come and sit on that stone benches. We used to take beer bottles and sit there and drink every evening, most of the evenings. From Friday to Sunday evening, we used to drink there. Beer bottle, take, sit there, drink, have a nice, those days I used to smoke also. My friends and I used to smoke. We used to have such intense discussion on developments and other things. Of course, we wanted development, but not at the chaotic rate in which it has taken place now. I suppose Bangalore should go back to its greenery. Once they keep the greenery, I suppose a lot of things can be solved, because there is nothing, no more trees, no more, children, you can see them watching the birds. We used to hear lovely birds, on MG Road, like sparrows, innumerable number of sparrows, on a winter evening. You just come and stand, on a summer evening when you come out and stand, sunset time, you just look up and you used to see beautiful number of sparrows and crows and other birds flying back. Or there is one season, I think it is autumn season, I think, then where you get these green pigeons, those used to be, and one or two trees, and it used to be full. And we used to really enjoy those little times. And we used to go to Kabban Park, and then we used to go to Lal Bagh. Everything was so easily accessible. There was nothing to worry about. We could walk it out. Now you can't. Now you really cannot. I think somewhere Bangalore has lost its charm. And I suppose it's a part of development and part of progressive Bangalore, what we are looking at, but the young people have missed out on a lot of beautiful things.